If you were abandoned by someone you were with for any significant amount of time and you treated them really well, I know it feels impossible not to reach out. When you miss them and the anxiety builds up, a text back from your ex would feel great, right? Well, maybe in that moment, but each time you reach out to someone who has rejected you, it's not just that one action. It becomes a 1, 2, 3 punch to your gut. 1, when you reach out to your ex, you are allowing them to continue to reject you. 2, if you do reach out and you don't get the desired response, it can put your anxiety into overdrive. Now you crave validation from them. So the next time they do give you attention, you respond right away, teaching them that there is no consequence for rejecting you. And the third punch is particularly insidious. When you continue to reach out to someone who is continuously rejecting you, you're subconsciously teaching yourself that you are someone to be rejected. And now you take this mentality out into the dating world and continue to get knocked down. Sounds pretty bleak, but let's go over an alternative scenario. One that happens when you finally distance yourself. You allow yourself to reflect, heal, and realize that you are the one who was too good for them the entire time. A scenario that happens when you commit to moving forward with or without them, and life continues to work for you in the background, slowly turning the tables. Here's how it works. One day, your ex realizes, they haven't heard from you in a little while. Ooh, and maybe that's a little jab to their ego. So they go on your social media and they see you living the new life you've built, smiling at others the way you used to smile at them. Jab, jab. Now your ex realizes maybe they could use one of your smiles. So they do what they always do. They breadcrumb text you, expecting your warmth that you predictably always greet them with, only to be met with your silence. And oh baby, that's the knockout punch. Your silence is the ultimate punishment in a world that can be so cold and the grass isn't always greener. Life is turning the tables on them, and the one person they thought they could always count on to validate themselves is suddenly gone. Hello friends, my name is Maria, and it took me almost 20 years of dating to learn that just because you get dumped and you get knocked down, that doesn't mean you're out. Right now, it might seem like you are riddled with anxiety and your ex is cool as a cucumber, but don't worry, life is turning the tables. And if you're ready to find out why, if you were always there for them, your silence is the ultimate punishment, then grab a bottle of nail polish and let's talk. If you're watching this video, you might be at a place where you are desperate for your ex to reach out so you can feel the victory of leaving them on red. You think, yes, that's their punishment. But it's important to remember that in life, the bell doesn't stop ringing after only one round. And I have been on this planet long enough to see what happens to people who take good love, like yours, for granted. Your ex's punishment is not you white knuckling it through 30 days of no contact or 45 days and then you reach out. You're thinking too small. You have to see the bigger picture. Your ex's punishment comes the day that you, the person who always cared, no longer cares that they reach out. Their bid for attention has become more of an insignificant annoyance of even having to deal with it being on your phone. You see, every time you were with them, treating them very well, and they were going along acting so busy, making sure you felt clingy or insignificant, unimportant, they purposefully kept you at arm's length to maintain control in the relationship and make sure that you knew you were not the priority. Don't even sweat it. because life is turning those tables. All of this they put onto you, and quite frankly, probably a lot of other people they dated, because people like this tend to have a relationship pattern. Well, it's all about to come swinging back into their face, and the beautiful part about it is you won't even care. It's funny how scammy ex-back channels try to convince you that your anxiety is the problem. Everyone says anxious people reach out because we are text messaging our exes as a bid for attention to emotionally regulate, and I will be the first to admit I have done this. But what I have learned after all of these years is that people who have more avoidant tendencies, they do the exact same thing. It just takes them a little longer. A couple of weeks ago, I posted a video talking about a man that I chased for 2 years who ultimately pushed me away. And then after 11 years, out of nowhere, he began to send me flirty text messages. Do I remember how much I liked him? Sure. But I've also gotten some distance, and I remember how much he did not appreciate it. So I made a commitment to you guys that I wasn't even going to open the message. And I'm going to pull it up here because I want to show you what's happened since that video. Okay, now look here. It says that he has sent 5 messages that I still have not opened. He sent 5 unreturned messages before he finally got my message and stopped. And you might say, wow, this guy sent 5 messages without ever getting a response. Who does that? Well, me, for one. I used to do this kind of thing all the time when I began to get nervous that someone I liked saw me as irrelevant or unimportant to them. I tried to push my way in through multiple text messages that went unacknowledged. My anxiety would want closure in the exchange, so sometimes I would even send a double text to make myself feel better, and I would say things like, oh, okay, I guess you're busy at work, so I'll talk to you later. People don't like being ignored. You don't like it, but neither does your ex. Even people who try to avoid heavy feelings, they get anxious too. It's all very human behavior. The difference is you will get past this breakup, and you will have reflected and learned and healed. And a decade later, your ex, who never took responsibility, who never takes responsibility for anything, will still be sending the same lame text messages to try to make themselves feel less alone. And trust me, even if they are not breadcrumbing you, you can sleep well at night knowing they're doing it to someone else, because people like this, who push love away, they struggle in all of their relationships. They will ride the struggle bus for years until it finally dawns on them that your love was a good love. Well, too little, way too late. And I know that sounds mean, but this video is not about consciously punishing people with silence. You don't have to worry about punishing anybody. Life will take care of it for you. Because here is what organically happens when people have spent their entire life screwing people over and pushing good love like yours away. At some point, people like you finally have them all figured out, and you get bored with them and you move on. In the end, all they have left is the silence. Some commenters say, avoidance can always find someone else to use as a resource. Maria, they are never alone. Well, I have enough avoidant people in my family tree that I have lived with and that I have watched die, that I can tell you with confidence that no matter who is physically in their presence, they are not happy within themselves, and they are always alone. A lot of unhealed avoidance end up alone because people get tired of wishy-washy behavior and they move on with their lives. If I didn't have this channel, I wouldn't even be talking about this message from my ex. In fact, once I hit stop on this recording, this man will be cast back out into the digital abyss, and I will get on with the life that I enjoy, that I've built for myself with people that appreciate my love. I smile at them and they feel lucky to have me around, and vice versa. I feel lucky to have them in my life too. I no longer walk around feeling resentful of people because I don't chase after jerks anymore. When life turns the tables, you learn how to validate yourself so you don't need jerks. But as for the jerks who always point fingers, never take accountability or reflect, they never learn how to validate themselves, and that's why they still need it from you. And they try to get it in the form of indirect messages and breadcrumb texts. Protect yourself from text messages by building your life up so you don't even have time for their nonsense. I have a video I will put in the description where I talk about challenges I give myself every day. They keep me motivated, they keep me from ruminating, and they keep me too busy to mess with people who want to sucker punch my life with future faking, all talk emotional manipulations, because at the end of the day, that's all this is. They needed control when they were with you, and they still need control. They're still trying to pin you exactly where they want you. They have not changed. I'll bet for a long time, they thought your love was something they had control over, because no matter how they treat you, you'll always be there. And when their self-inflicted loneliness gets to be too much, that's when they remember your good love. Well, they are free to remember it, but they are not entitled to it. When we do kind and thoughtful things for other people only to be discarded, we can slip into this mindset that those wonderful gestures of ours were a weakness that we need to change. We begin to believe this, especially when we get into this distorted mind trap, thinking everyone is better than us. Well, what makes them so much better anyway? They know how to treat us like crap and they just happen to take good selfies? Oh no! Welcome to the other half, where we know attraction is not just about looks. We also need to take care of the inner half, because your love is a good love, and you will realize this once you stop pouring it into an ungrateful black hole and pour it into yourself instead. Look in the mirror and watch how your love has the power to transform someone. You will feel lighter and brighter from the inside out, and you will surprise yourself when some old insecurities about maybe trying new things, they don't seem so anxiety-inducing. You know, new things like maybe leaving your ex on red for once, because now maybe you are the one feeling a little ambivalent and a little indifferent, and you make sure, no matter what you decide, you protect yourself and you do what's best for you. Heck, do exactly what your ex would have done if you were the one who had reached out. Turn the tables on them and put yourself first. I encourage you today, don't reach out to an ex, reach up and claim victory. And if your ex does reach out and you're confused as to whether or not they're serious this time, I'll put a video that talks about that right here. My name is Maria Adriana. You did not have to live my life, but I certainly hope you can learn something from it. As always, thank you for visiting The Other Half.